You don't make decisions out of panic. You don't make decisions out of anxiety. You make decisions based off of a mathematical equation. Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. My name is Michael Weaver, and I am the host. I'm flying solo today, baby. Courtney is not here, and I'm going to be talking about how to make a decision, right, based off of either making an adjustment or a pivot if things start to change in a way in your business that you're just not crazy about, that you're not happy about. You're starting to panic a little bit. You're starting to get a little anxiety. You know that feeling. And this came about through a coaching call that I actually had with a customer and a friend of mine. And he's having a banner year. He's having a record-breaking year. And he reached out. He's like, Michael, can we just jump on the phone for just a little bit? The last 2 weeks have been terrible. I've fallen off goal. I'm like, yeah, let's jump on the phone. Let's see what's happening. And so this is where this actually, what I'm talking about today, where this came from. So this is the actual coaching that he received from me. And I want to walk you through this framework because I think this is going to really help you with the decision-making process that you have, because change is inevitable. You're going to have good weeks. You're going to have good months. You're going to have good quarters. But there are going to be times throughout your career, throughout the week, throughout the weeks, the months, the quarters, the years, that are not going to go as planned. And if you're anything like myself early on in my career, if things went bad for a certain amount of time, I started to get anxiety, I started to panic, and I made decisions out of the panic. I made decisions out of the anxiety. I made the decisions based out of fear. And that is not what I want you to do, because when you're making decisions based out of those types of feelings, those types of emotions, there is no way that you are going to be able to actually critically think through a process of, should I be making a change? And should it be an adjustment? Should it be a pivot? And that's exactly what I'm going to break down for you today on this episode of The Buzz. So let's just dive into this. So I kind of gave you a brief background. Again, this agent I'm talking about is having a banner year, best year he's ever had, PNC life insurance, crushing it. And we jump on the phone, and he had the first 2 weeks of the month have just not went as planned, and he's a little bit behind goal. And so I start to ask him questions. And so I'm going to go ahead and go through this. If you're in this situation, and even if you're not currently in this situation, maybe everything's great, I highly recommend going ahead and jotting this down in your phone, jotting it down in the notes, writing it down if you're listening or maybe watching this right now, and just go into this. So the very first thing that I asked him was, well, is the team size the same? Have you had to get rid of anybody? Do we still have the same amount of people in chairs? He's like, yep, we still have the same team. Okay. So my next question is, if things are not going as planned, so you're starting to fall short of goal, let me just ask you real fast, how are the activities, right? So how are the activities? Still making the same amount of dials? Are you still getting the same amount of referrals? Like, whatever your business is, are you still buying the same amount of internet leads? Are you getting the same amount of homeowners quotes from your centers of influence, like your mortgage lender providers? Whatever your business looks like, what do the activities look like? Have the activities changed at all? Have the activities changed at all? So I go from activities to I go to then quotes. Okay, so if the activities haven't changed, are the amount of quotes that each individual is responsible for, are they getting done? So are the quotes getting done? This is another lead. Right? So this is another leading point of, okay, so we've got the activities, we've got the quotes. Now let's go into conversion rates. Conversion rates. So activities, quotes, are the conversions the same? Have they dropped? Have they increased? And then to add one on to this, and this can go into the quotes and conversions, what is the size of the quote? What I mean by that, what is the size of the average household that has been quoted or converted? So single line, multiple cars with a home or renters, multiple cars with a home or renters or umbrella, multiple cars with a home, renters, umbrella, maybe a life insurance policy or two. This is what I'm talking about when it's household count. So if you're, for example, this is a really important aspect to look at that you may not be looking at right now. So if you start to fall behind goal, if the activity is the same, the quotes are the same, the conversion's the same, but production is less, that's a really good indicator that the size of households or the items, applications, whatever you want to call it, per household have decreased. So why has it decreased? The reason I'm sharing these questions with you is this is going to give you a good vision of what is the problem. That's really what we're trying to dial down right now, is what is the problem? What is causing the lack of production, which is causing us to start to fall short of goal, or not on time for goal anymore, or not exceeding goal, which is where I want you. So these 4 indicators, leading indicators, are what I would recommend looking at. And once you get a really good grasp on what does this look like, so activities are good, quotes are a little down, conversions have fallen, because it could be multiple here. It could be multiple. The likelihood is it's just one, and let's hope that it is just one, because if it's just one, that's really simple to coach too. Activities have dropped, so we need to increase the activities. Quotes have dropped, so we need to increase the quotes. Or, hey, the average household, we're quoting single line versus the 2 cars, the home, and the umbrella like we like. So we need to get back to that. It gives you opportunities to coach. Maybe your conversions have dropped. Are you just not as competitive in that market? How far off are you on a competitive landscape? And you need to ask this to your team, because the team is going to more than likely, if conversions are low, well, we're just not competitive anymore. Our quotes aren't competitive. All right, and I've been there. I've been a team member. I've been an agent. I used to give the excuse, and then I used to hear the excuse. I'm not saying the excuse isn't valid, but we need to understand, when you say we're not competitive, what do you mean by that? Are we $10 more a month? Are we $50 more a month? Are we $100 more a month? Are we $500 more a month? We need to understand what not competitive looks like, an example like that. After you've broken these down, this is where you have to decide as a business owner. You don't make decisions out of panic. You don't make decisions out of anxiety. You make decisions based off of a mathematical equation. And so right here, for example, you have to make a decision whether an adjustment is needed or whether you have to straight out make a pivot. Right? So the difference in this, and what I hope that you gather from this episode and this decision-making process, is let's just go through an example. So with the agent that I'm referencing, we went through here, and off the top of his head, honestly, he didn't know some of these. So he had to dive into some of them. And what he found is that the activities were the same, that the quotes were pretty much the same. On an average, sure, it may fall short one day, but it was over on the next. So averaged out the quotes. Now the conversions were starting to drop a little bit, and the household count quoted also dropped a little bit, which gave me a really good indicator and him a really good indicator of, oh shoot, my team is probably starting to sell on price, and that is why we're starting to quote smaller households and be super price focused, which means the conversion rate has went down. So that's an adjustment that he needed to make. A slight adjustment. Okay, so I need to go back to the team. I need to put parameters in place to make sure, hey, you're expected to quote auto, fire, life at a minimum, and just that's an example. His was auto, fire, and what an auto fire quote is, that means that you're always bringing up auto insurance, either home or renters, and an umbrella. That's with every conversation every time. So that's going to eliminate the price. And then that's also going to eliminate the household count issue. And so that's just a slight tweak. That's just a slight adjustment in the process, in the coaching, because we all fall into ruts. And when you're on the conversations every single day, it can be easy to fall into ruts. And so that was an adjustment that he was going to go in and make. Now, on the flip side, let's say we would have, because I had just talked to another agent a few weeks prior. Everything was cool except for his conversion rate was not slightly down. It was way down. And his quotes were way down. Activity high, quotes way down, conversion way down. So when you have quotes way down and conversion way down, that's a huge indicator that something is going wrong. And even if the quotes were up, anytime a conversion rate drops significantly. So the agent I was talking to in this example, his team typically averages around a 25 to 30% closing rate. Both internet leads, referrals, doesn't matter. That's just his average close rate in the office. Well, what we had found out through almost a month's worth of data is his closing rate had dropped to less than 10%. So something significant was happening. So I said, okay, let's go through the quotes. What does it look like? Look at the things I just said. So what's the average household count? How many quotes are being done? Talk to your team about the competitiveness. Let's see what's going on. And what he found in this example, so this is another agent, is that they had taken rate increases in his market that he was marketing. So he had internet leads going there and he had centers of influence all in this one market. Well, the rate increases had really hurt this market. And so this is a pivot. This isn't an adjustment. It's not time to just do a small tweak, some coaching to the team, tweaking the processes, making sure everybody's on the same page. This is when we have to make a pivot. This is when he contacted his carrier and his sales leader and was like, hey, we're not competitive in this marketplace right now. Where are we competitive? What zip codes are we competitive? What states are we competitive? Where do we want to grow? Hey, do I need to make a complete pivot, right, and focus on just financial services? So P&C in this marketplace isn't great. So I have to make a complete pivot in my business to where we have to start writing more life insurance to gain financial services commissions, because that's going to be a leg within my business that we have to grow that's going to help support us financially, because the P&C has slowed up a little bit. Make sense? Adjustment versus pivot. So many times, and this is why I wanted to talk about this in the buzz, so many times when things aren't going right, at least I want to speak from my perspective and my experience as a young business owner, is I would make decisions based off of emotions and not necessarily based off of data. And a lot of times I would make a decision, even though something had worked so well, a process had worked so well over time, and then all of a sudden, we had a slow week, a slow 2 weeks, a slow month, a slow 6 weeks. That's it. It's time to make a complete pivot. When in all honesty, as a young business owner, I just didn't have the experience of, you know what, I don't need to make a complete pivot. I don't need to scrap that process. I don't need to scrap that team member. I need to make a slight adjustment to make sure that we're getting back on the winning path. And that's what I hope you take away from today. Adjustment versus pivot. Most things within the business need adjustments. They need slight tweaks, coaching, slight tweaks in the process, maybe slight tweaks in who our centers of influence are, right? Not a ginormous pivot of, oh my gosh, we're not competitive anymore in this market. The carrier's not even wanting to grow in the state. We have to make a giant pivot, whether we get licensed in another state, target specific marketplace, target specific zip codes, or maybe it's a complete opposite or different product within the business of, hey, we need to really focus on life insurance. Here's the process. Here's the plan. Here's what we're going to do. Now let's get to work. That is a pivot. That is not an adjustment. Adjustment versus pivot. Make sure the next time something's not going right in your business, in the agency, with a team, that you actually break down, do I need to make an adjustment or do I need to make a pivot? What's actually going on in my business, and make the decision based off of data, not off of emotion, anxiety, and stress, and how you're feeling in that moment. With that being said, I hope that today was beneficial for you. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that you understand now the difference between an adjustment and a pivot. I would love to know your takeaway from today's episode. Maybe you're going through something right now in your career. Reach out to me, 816-727-7610. Let's work through that. Other than that, as always, time and attention are by far our most important assets. I appreciate you and I appreciate your support so much. Go out and make it great.